Welcome to Home Run, Great Client Experiences, a podcast by NFM TV. I'm your host, Greg Scher. We're going down to Richmond, Virginia today, where we have three very happy parties. We've got Meghan Wright. She's an extremely happy new homeowner. Meghan, how are you today?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Really good. Thanks for asking. I can't wait to get into your story. We have also Adam Netherland. He's a superstar loan originator at NFM Lending out of Ben Burkett's office in Richmond. Adam, good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you as well. Thanks for having me on today.
Of course. And Laura Roesser from Joyner Fine Properties is also on the line. And let's get into this story. Adam, tell us how Meghan and Laura came into your life and how this deal came together.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. So I connected with Laura kind of through Meghan, which is kind of different. Meghan's a good friend. We have a good mutual friend that we train triathlon before COVID kind of got into the way of everything. And my buddy Dan, and we raced Ironman Maine together. We've gone on crazy long training rides and runs and everything else. And I met Meghan kind of through the triathlon realm. And Dan introduced us and was like, hey, I have a friend, Meghan. She's looking to buy a house. And I think Meghan was introduced to Laura through another person in the triathlon world, introduced the Jenny Merrigy team over at Joyner. And Laura's one of the buyer's agents there. And it kind of came full circle. And it was one of the easiest, smoothest transactions that I've had. Found her a house and got her under contract, and she's loving life as a homeowner.
So let's get right to that homeowner. Meghan, you kind of learned some valuable lessons from this experience. You're in a super red-hot market down there in Richmond. I know you had your eyes on the prize in January of 2019, but it took a little bit to get into your home. Tell us about that evolution.
Yeah, so when I decided that I was looking to buy a single-family home, I had owned a condo for 5 years and was ready to move into a single-family home. I started the loan process with Adam because I knew it was important to be pre-qualified before I even started the home process, just so I wouldn't miss out on anything or waste anyone's time. So originally met with Adam, got pre-qualified, and then like Adam said, I met Laura and the Jenny Merrigy team through actually a coworker who I know through triathlon as well. But so I started the home search process back in January of 2019, and it ended up taking almost a full year to find a house just because of how competitive the market is. But I also was very picky about where I wanted to be. So I luckily was not in a rush to move, and I didn't have to move. So I was, again, kind of picky of what I wanted and where I wanted to be. So
19 offers on one particular house. That must have been pretty overwhelming to get caught in a race like that.
Yeah, that was my first experience. I met with Laura, and I remember back in January of 2019, and we went to a house that had ended up having 19 offers and went for something like $45,000 all cash above asking. And I was just extremely overwhelmed by the market, but with both the expertise of Laura and the Jenny Merrigy team and Adam, they helped me through the process, and we kind of persevered through the very hot market. So I was lucky.
Meghan, tell me about the loan process and what that was like in dealing with Adam and NFM Lending.
The loan process was great from the start. It was extremely smooth. Adam was a great communicator. He was always available day or night to answer any questions. Like I said earlier, I made sure that I got pre-qualified before I even started the home process. But of course, through the process, I had to make some adjustments in terms of dropping the contingency, things like that. So he was very flexible and always very helpful through the process of not only just getting that pre-approval, but then finishing the whole process. NFM has a great system where they kind of email you steps along the way, and Adam communicated with me every single step, and the whole process was very smooth.
Amazing. Laura, let's bring you in now. So how do you coach people in a market like this? You've got rates that are super low, you have inventory which is super low, and obviously both things drive a lot of competition on homes. To anyone out there that is thinking about buying a home, what advice do you have for them in terms of being mentally prepared to go through that kind of bidding war?
Yes. Well, I think the two biggest things are you need to have clear communication and just set expectations right up front. So with Megan, I kind of told her, hey, we don't have a ton of inventory right now. And she was really good too, because she knew specifically what she wanted. She had already honed it down, which helped a ton. And I just told her in her price point in the area that she was looking in, there weren't going to be as many homes that came up, and letting that person know that, hey, we're setting these clear expectations right now, that we might not get the first one. There was 19 offers on that one house, so we might not get the first one, but there are going to be others that come up within the market. So don't get too bogged down in the weeds with the first one. It might take one or two, but if you set those clear expectations up front and make it a positive thing of you're still going to find a great home at the end of this, then I feel like clients don't get so discouraged and bogged down with the process, because it is very competitive.
How long have you been in the real estate game?
I've been doing real estate for a little over 6 years now.
Amazing. Well, you certainly got in at a good time. I want to hit you up one more time because you just spoke to the mental aspect of just being prepared for anything. There's also the fundamental aspect of making an attractive offer. So what are some of the things about your offer that you can bring to the table to make you more attractive to a seller?
So with Megan, at first, we weren't sure. It was contingent originally on her condo selling in order to purchase something. But once we found something that she liked and there was another offer on it, I knew that we couldn't be contingent on that in order for us to win. So she actually ended up being able to qualify with the existing loan on her condo, and what the new loan would be on that house. And we kind of gave her some options too. So she didn't have to make it contingent, on selling her condo, having it under contract to purchase a home. But for buyers who are looking to buy something and don't want to make things contingent because sellers are looking for less contingencies, I would say there are different things you can do if you have assets: borrowing against your 401k, borrowing against an IRA, borrowing against another home you have. Those are things you can do to make it uh, have less contingencies. And also, I have clients who sometimes do get a loan but purchase a home in cash. So that's another way to kind of be competitive, where you're saying, I have X number of assets that I can pay in cash, but I still want this loan. So just a couple different ways to think outside the box with those things and just make a cleaner offer.
Yeah. Also, some things that I know come into play, which are advantageous for a buyer in the eyes of a seller. Things like a larger earnest money deposit, a faster
Yes.
close.
Yes.
Those are some things that really excite buyers because they don't want any,
Yes.
the less strings that are attached to the transaction.
Exactly. Yes. And with hers, we did offer a little bit over off the bat, which I think is just a little stronger. We did an escalation clause, but just even offering over what the asking price is kind of lets the seller know that, hey, we're serious. We really want this house.
Amazing. Adam, I'm going to bring you back in here as the loan originator. Tell us about the environment that we're in right now and how you're preparing yourself mentally for these kinds of challenges we're talking about in a red hot market. How do you show up during these times in a way that benefits the buyer?
We are literally like, I go through this like mental preparation and conversation with my clients. The market is crazy right now. I mean, I have to stress it enough that every single scenario for really any price point, and especially in our market, like I'd say the 300 to 400 price point, upper twos to low fours, mid fours, those prices are, I mean, they're flying off the shelves left and right. It's crazy. But one of the big things that I'm kind of going through right now and talk with my clients are, I'm coming back around to working with a lot of repeat customers where, I helped them 4 years ago buy their first house, and now they're looking at kind of buying a house to settle down in. And, one of the big things that I'm talking through with them is take advantage of the rates. And, while you are paying more for the house, you look at it as, for example, in late 2018, I was locking at loans at 5.25%. And I thought if I could get 5 1/8, that was an amazing deal. No one was shopping. Everyone was in the fives. It was, it's what the hand we were dealt. And historically, I've only been in the industry since about 2015, I believe, 2016. So I haven't seen the super highs of rates like my parents may have, had when they purchased their home. But, historically, rates in the twos in many scenarios, mid to mid upper twos, they're paying less per month for that house by paying $50,000 more for it than if they bought it at list price in 2018. So I'm really just trying to look at the silver lining in the scenario to make it not as, kind of a hit in the arm for paying way more than what they think it's worth. I think a lot of times from what we see in the Richmond market too, houses are strategically priced lower than what the houses are actually going for. And we're seeing that on appraisals. I mean, we're having clients buy houses for 30, 40,000 over, and they're appraising for that. So, the value, it appears that it is there. So all in all, it is a very crazy market that we're seeing. And it's kind of one of those things that everything's always changing. So you got to kind of think of ways to explain it to buyers to, keep them excited about buying and, show them the positive sides of everything.
That's a great segue back to our buyer, Megan. Megan, tell us about the house. How are you breaking it in?
I love it. Luckily, it was in very livable condition. It was the woman that owned it did keep it up. I do love DIY projects, so there was quite a bit of opportunity to cosmetically spruce it up, but it was in pretty good condition when I moved in. So I've had a really good experience so far.
Are you doing that stuff yourself? Are you a fixer-upper?
I do like that stuff. Yeah. So I've done a lot of painting. I've put in granite countertops. I've changed out appliances, put in gas logs in the fireplace, things like that. So having fun making it my own.
Now, there's been mention by a couple of you of triathlons. Are you all triathletes?
I have done Ironman and triathlon, and that's how I met Adam through a mutual friend. So yes.
And what about you, Laura?
Absolutely not.
We got to get you in there. Come on, we got to reel you in. I'll tell you what. If you go, I'll go. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we'll have to talk about that in the future. Well, I really appreciate everybody's time. Meghan Wright, happy homeowner. Adam Netherland, superstar loan officer at NFM Lending, and of course, Laura Roesser, who is an agent with Joyner Fine Properties. If you want to reach Adam and you want a loan, 804-513-8580. You can call him anytime about anything. You want to sell your house, you want to buy a home, you just have questions about the climate. And his email is anetherland@nfmlending.com. And if you want to buy a house or sell, Laura Roesser is your person. Laura.Roesser at Joyner, Joyner, fineproperties.com. I'm Greg Scher from NFM TV. You've been listening to another Home Run, Great Client Experience podcast from NFM TV. Thanks, everybody.
Home Run, Great Client Experiences is a production of NFM TV and NFM Inc. NFM Inc. does business as NFM Lending, NMLS number 2893. Adam Netherland's NMLS number is 1591628. This podcast is for informational purposes only. NFM Lending is not affiliated with any real estate companies. You are entitled to shop around for the best lender and/or real estate company for you. The real estate agent is not a mortgage lender. Contact NFM Lending directly to learn more about their mortgage programs and your eligibility for such programs. The experiences of clients appearing on this podcast are individual experiences of those who have used our services. NFM Inc. does not provide incentives for testimonials or reviews. This is not a credit decision or commitment to lend. Eligibility is subject to completion of an application and verification of homeownership, occupancy, title, income, employment, credit, home value, collateral, and underwriting requirements. NFM Inc. is not affiliated with or an agent or division of a governmental agency or depository institution. Copyright 2021.